sanctuary is so beautiful. I'm home. Come on in. What are you afraid of? You were here for the wedding and didn't turn into a Baptist.
No, but we got a lot of folks praying for us to change.
Man, ain't that the truth?
If their prayers are answered, I wonder what kind of Baptist we'd turn into.
I don't know.
Primitive?
No.
Independent? Free will?
No.
Southern?
Definitely
Reformed?
not. Maybe.
Primitive. Seeing you boys eat.
Now, Dad, since I married your son, he's made remarkable progress. He's reformed.
Yeah, a nice wedding like that'll do it to you. I still can't get over how emotional everybody was.
Well, that's because Amy was marrying a Methodist. Hey, look, Amy, you're still on their prayer sheet. They just won't let it go, will they?
Don't you think they might be supporting our music ministry?
Of course they're praying for our ministry. God has blessed our mixed marriage. Why don't you think so, Mrs. Westmont?
I do.
I do too.
Hey, break it up. Renew your vows someplace else. This is a church.
I got my first kiss up there in the balcony.
Baptist. Boy, I sure like the acoustics in here.
This has always been a sanctuary for singing.
Let's try something.
All right.
Yeah.
Casserole.
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 Casserole!
All Baptists really love casseroles.
Bum 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 bum.
By and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathered home,
We will
tell the story how we've overcome. We will understand it better by and by. We are tossed and driven on this restless sea of time. Somber skies and howling tempest oft succeed a bright sunshine. In that land of perfect day, when the mist has rolled away, we will understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathered home,
We will
tell the story how we've overcome. We will understand it better by and by. Temptation's hidden snares often take us unawares, and our hearts are made to bleed for a thoughtless word or deed. And we wonder why the test when we try to do our best, but we'll understand it better by and by. By and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathered home,
We will
tell the story how we've overcome. We will understand it better by and by. We will understand it better by and by. That's nice.
pretty good.
That's good. Dude. Awesome.
Excuse me, folks. It ain't time for the evening service. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask y'all to... Oh, my, well, would you looky here. Amy, you come here to me. Oh, how are you, dear? I didn't know it was you. I thought it was... Oh, never mind.
Fine, Marie.
Oh, let me look at you. Oh, married life hadn't hurt you a bit. Oh, well, it's done wonders for your husband.
Yeah, you should see him eat now. Knife, fork, the works.
How you doing, Marie?
Oh, I can't complain, but I tell you, my memory sure ain't what it used to be. I can't seem to remember which one of your sons here's Floyd and which one's Lloyd.
Oh,
I
am.
He is.
You are.
What
She was talking about you.
Well, I'm just glad it was you and not them.
Them who? Who did you think we were?
Pastor search committee. They didn't make it in time for the morning service, but they'll be back.
I thought they'd want to remain anonymous. How did you find out?
They pulled right up into the driveway this morning when Bob was out patrolling the parking lot. He said that the car had out-of-state tags on it, There was 2 men sitting up in the front, 2 women sitting in the back. Well, they asked a lot of questions about the church. Said they'd heard a lot of good things about us. Well, then they asked what time the evening service was, and they drove off. What else could it be?
You were going to run them out of the sanctuary just now?
Well, it's not time for the evening service. And besides, I don't want any pastor search committee up in here anyway.
But isn't that how Baptist ministers change churches?
Well, we don't want him to leave.
Well, that should be his decision. I mean, if he feels led.
If he feels led, then it's God's decision. But God's not finished with him yet, so he ain't feeling led.
That's between Pastor Meade and God. It just doesn't seem right to be interfering.
It's between Pastor Meade, God, and this church where he was called to serve. So that gives me and this church the right to interfere.
Time out. Before you two get lost in discussion, can we back up? Who is Bob, and why is he out patrolling the parking lot?
Oh, Bob Young, he's one of our deacons. We told him that church parking lots were prime targets for car thieves on Sunday mornings.
Well, how often does he patrol?
Well, once during the choir special and a second time when the choir's singing the benediction. It keeps him out of the tenor section.
Oh, so it's okay to make a joyful noise.
Yeah, just not in the choir.
That's right, boys. Everybody's got a place in God's house. Bob's is just outside.
Bless his heart.
Now, let me back up and ask what brings you home and how long can you stay?
Well, we're just staying for the night at Mom's on our way to the state fair. You're looking at the Tuesday night entertainment.
We go on right after the goats.
Hey, don't laugh. They're a tough act to follow.
Yeah, especially if you're not, looking down.
Oh, my, well, I'm still proud of you. You know, you're a good example out there in a world of secular music.
Well, it made sense what Betty said. We can reach more people this way.
Did I hear you made a solo album?
Oh, we made an album of old hymns, and the boys decided to feature me a lot.
Don't listen to her, Marie. It's a solo album. We know a good thing when we hear it.
Yeah, we're her backup singers. You know, like Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Woo! Woo!
Oh, that's going to keep you on my prayer list permanently.
Hey, we brought copies.
Oh, I took your suggestion and wrote a dedication to Betty on the back.
Oh, I'm so glad you did that. You know, people can go a whole lifetime never knowing the good they've done, and that's mainly because nobody ever tells them. I'll make sure she gets a copy of it. Oh, look, you recorded Never Grow Old.
It's your favorite, isn't it?
It is. You know, this is the song I want sung at my funeral.
I thought you wanted Don't Get Around Much Anymore sung at your funeral.
Would you sing a little bit of it for me now, dear? Oh, wonderful.
Missed the Saturday dance.
Bum, 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 bum.
Heard the
Not that
crowded.
one, the other one.
I like that one.
I have
Heard of a land on a faraway strand. 'Tis a beautiful home of the soul, built by Jesus on high, where we'll never shall die. 'Tis a land where we'll never grow old, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old, never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old. When our work here is done, and our life crown is won, and our troubles and life trials are o'er, all our sorrows will end, and our voices will blend with the loved ones who've gone on before. Never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old. Never grow old, never grow old, in a land where we'll never grow old.
That was beautiful. That was just beautiful. Is this song in your concert?
Well, some nights it is. We have to work up to the gospel music because our audiences don't like to feel like they're in church.
Yeah, but before they know it, we sneak them in.
Yeah, we start out with some top 40 country, a few oldies, and then we segue right into the gospel section. But you should see that segue.
Lloyd and I have worked up this comic preacher and minister of education routine.
It figures.
Oh, but it's hysterical.
Oh, yeah, it gets them laughing and thinking about religion. That way, when we ease into the gospel side of the program, they're open to it.
Well, boys.
Sister Marie,
Yes.
God bless your ministry here at Rocky Bluff. As a minister of maintenance, I encourage you to keep sweeping for the Savior
Dustin for the divine.
and mopping for the Messiah.
Hallelujah! And may
Hallelujah.
those toilets be as white as snow.
White as snow.
You boys. Oh, you missed your calling.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Hey, Marie, sing one with us.
We've got a great arrangement of Just a Closer Walk. Would you mind taking the lead?
Oh, well. Twist my arm. You know, they don't let me sing around here too much. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Come on, Marie, we can't walk this close forever.
Oh, that was fun.
Marie, if a pastor search committee is coming, are the church and pastor all right with each other?
Well, of course we are. That's what I've been saying all along. Pastor Meade is wonderful. He's preaching the word. He loves to visit. And the church is growing again. You know, just 3 years ago, the average age of our youth department was 42. He's bringing it back down. And we had record attendance at Vacation Bible School last year.
Well, that sounds like a lot of cookies and Kool-Aid.
You're telling me, but you know, they were pretty good this year.
The kids or the cookies?
Mm-hmm. You know what I think is happening?
Oh,
Pastor Meade is happy here, and God's not finished with him yet, so the only explanation is that committee is fishing.
You mean like baseball teams when they send their scouts out to spy on the opposition?
no. It's like religious headhunters.
That's right, boys. This is how other churches steal good preachers.
Well, who else in the church knows that they're coming?
Well, Bob, obviously, because he told me and Betty, and, he probably told Mrs. Davis.
That means everybody else in the church knows by now.
Why? How come?
Well, Miss Davis is the church busybody, but she calls it a ministry. She'll say,
Okay.
tell me what's going on in your life so I can pray more intelligently.
Right, yeah.
And then she'll talk to God about it.
Uh-huh.
And everybody, God knows about it.
Oh.
Oh, we don't even need a church newsletter around here with her.
Well, now that the whole church knows about it, perhaps this afternoon would be a good time for you and Betty to go see Pastor Meade and see if he really is thinking about leaving, or if that church is just, as you say, fishing.
Well, I guess we could talk to him about it. Then, you know, Betty and Lula are coming by later on to work on the music for tonight. I just wish this wasn't happening.
Oh, Marie, God's got good things in store for this church. You've got to believe that. Let's talk about something else until Betty gets here.
Good idea.
Okay. What's with the bare spot out in the front yard?
Oh, you saw that, did you?
We started to park there.
Well, in landscaping terms, that's what used to be called a natural area. Our WMU ladies worked over a month getting that looking so natural. And wouldn't you know it, that's the exact spot where our beloved Bob Young decided he wanted to build this living outdoor nativity scene this last Christmas.
Is this that same patrolman, Bob?
Yeah.
Yes, one and the same. He said it looked more authentic among the azaleas. So he builds this manger right there in the middle of them with this deer stand on top for the angel. Well, he brought in a mule and a couple of goats and 3 chickens. I guess he read the verse about the cock crowing 3 times. Well, anyway, to finish it off, the crown and touch of his creation, he places this plywood cutout of this stork holding this sign that read, "It's a Bowie," right there next to the manger. Well, when he was finished, he called me and Pastor Meade out to look at it. And I saw him standing over there next to what looked like this open-faced outhouse with a seat up on top of it. And I thought to myself, oh, Lord, there's one old goat too many. Well, that night, you should have seen what happened. One of them old goats, it ate the head off the baby Jesus.
Of course.
That knocked the light bulb halo right there into the hay, setting the manger on fire. Kids went screaming, running all over the place. It scared the mule so bad it kicked the building the rest of the way over, burning it to the ground, along with that natural area you saw when you pulled up.
Oh my gosh, was anybody hurt?
Just Bob when I got a hold of him.
Shh. Did anybody hear that?
Yeah, I thought I saw something moving up in the balcony.
Oh, hello, Betty. How have you been?
Hey, Betty, how you doing?
Hey, Miss Betty.
Hey, Betty, you're looking good.
So, what brings you all back to church? Did your bus break down?
No, Betty, they're on their way to a concert, and they stopped over for the night. Oh, and here's a copy of Amy's CD. Look right here, what's on the back. Look right here.
Oh, that's nice. Well, it was great seeing all of you. Sorry we don't have longer to chat, but Lula and I have to rehearse.
Betty,
Why is Miss Lula in the balcony?
She's the organist. We have to go over the music for tonight's service.
Yeah. But I was...
Let me ask this one.
Thank you.
But why is the organ in the balcony?
We had a bit of a flood last year.
Yeah, see, what happened was the baptistry overflowed, and, well, the most expensive things we lost was the piano and the organ. So the deacons thought that it'd be safer up yonder up there in the balcony.
And besides, an organ in the balcony makes us seem high class, you know, like the Lutherans.
The baptistry overflowed?
The baptistry committee met to fill it up one Saturday. They thought they could eat lunch and be back in time to turn the water off.
Miss Lula, how do you like playing in the balcony?
You know what? She doesn't hear so well anymore. Hang on a second, though, because she's great at reading lips. Lula! 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 There she is, try it again.
Thanks, Betty. How do you like playing in the balcony?
I love that song.
What does that mean?
She has a touch of laryngitis this week, so she's been communicating with musical cues. I think maybe she's trying to say that she feels like she's sitting too far away.
Oh, like in the nosebleed section.
I wonder if she's a Yankee fan. I guess not. Boy, she's good at reading lips.
You know? Wow.
Like I said, it was great seeing all of you, but Lula and I have to go over the music for tonight's service. It has to be good. So if you all will excuse us.
Betty, we know about the pastor search committee. Wade thought it might be a good idea for you and Marie to speak to Pastor Meade before they get here.
Oh, he did. Well, thank you, Wade, but I really think we can handle it ourselves.
Betty, we'd like to see him stay too.
I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling myself today.
Oh, Betty, none of us are feeling like ourselves today.
It just won't be the same if he leaves. All the times that I felt like quitting, it was Pastor Meade who helped me see why I should stay. I wish I could do that for him now, but he wants to go. I thought I would leave first. No, not without a fight. If the service is extra special tonight, then maybe he'll realize this is where he belongs.
I think he does, Betty. That committee is just fishing. They know we got a good preacher.
Yeah, why don't you talk to the committee and tell them to leave?
Well, then they'll just invite him on down to their church later.
But since he's not interested, he won't go.
Well, he shouldn't even be tempted. And besides, now that the whole church knows about it, I'm sure they feel just as horrible as we do. And that's another reason for tonight's service to be extra special. So, if you all will excuse us.
Oh, Betty, can we stay? I'd love to hear you sing.
Oh, I'd love to hear that duet you two used to do with I'll Fly Away.
I'm sorry, Marie, I just don't think I have time to get the music together for Lula. And besides, Amy knows how important rehearsal is for a church service. Don't you, Amy?
Sure, Betty. Maybe some other time.
Okay. Lula, we're going to start with Close to Thee. 479.
Betty, do you mind if we just stay and listen?
Sure. should take this music a little more seriously.
The choreography, too.
Hey, what's wrong with Miss Lula?
I think maybe she's trying to tell us something.
Oh, it's charades.
Oh,
I am pretty good at this.
You are,
Okay.
man.
All right, 2 words.
What?
I think she means second word with that finger.
Oh.
Stretch.
Taffy?
Wide.
Deep and wide.
There's a fountain flowing deep and wide.
No, it's a fish story.
Long.
Long, that's it.
Oh, very good.
Okay. First word.
She's calling hogs.
She's singing.
Long sing.
The song is too long. I knew it.
No, she wants to reverse it. The song's not too long. She wants a sing-along.
She wants y'all all to sing with Betty tonight. Betty, you're preparing a song service. Amy grew up here, got married here. Don't you think that the church, which has been supporting her ministry, would love to hear her and her family sing?
Remember, this is a church and not a honky-tonk. Is your band going to be coming?
No, they're going to meet us tomorrow.
I
Betty,
don't
you don't
know.
understand.
Maybe we should try and cancel the service. I mean, that would keep them away for a while. Do you think that would work, Lula? Marie, how can we do that?
Betty, if you don't want us to sing, just say so. You don't have to cancel the service on our account.
While I am not particularly fond of the grand old Opry in the pulpit, I don't want to cancel the service because of you. It's because of that pastor search committee.
Betty, it's not a bad idea in theory. I mean, it certainly would frustrate those preacher stealers, but canceling a service? Well, that is a big deal. I can only think of 2 reasons to do it. Bad weather, the pastor dies, or the Lord returns.
Hey, y'all, Miss Lula's trying to say something again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 2 words.
Yeah.
Second word.
Wish she wouldn't do it that way.
Wall.
Wailing wall.
Knock down the wall.
That's 4 words.
Touching the wall?
Texture.
Sheetrock.
Plaster.
Oh, plaster. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. All right, first word. Scratching.
Dusty.
Plaster dust.
Shivering.
It's cold.
Rain.
No, snow.
It's not snow.
It is snow.
Snowflakes.
Flakes. The plaster's flaking.
Lula, I'll have somebody look into that first next week.
No, she wants to reverse it again. She means flaking plaster.
What?
Thank you. That clears things up for me.
Oh my, that's weird.
I get it. She's playing the first Noel, and the phrase is flaking plaster.
More.
Don't you see?
No.
Noel. Noel. Take flaking plaster and get the L out.
I'm
We
telling
got that
Mom.
up in the church.
I'm telling.
No, remove the
You're in
letter
trouble.
L from flaking plaster, and you get faking pastor.
Oh,
Hey, good job.
That just wore me out.
Lola, you are a genius. A fake pastor. There's no need to cancel the service for tonight. They don't know what he looks like. They're from out of state.
You know what? If we get an imposter that's terrible, well, they'll leave and never come back.
This just doesn't seem right. You could ruin Pastor Mead's reputation with a stunt like that.
It's just for one service. And besides, they're not from around here. Hopefully they'll just move on to the next church on their list. And as long as our church knows about it.
Well, how are we going to let the whole church know about this in time if the whole congregation isn't in on it?
Mrs. Davis can help us with that. As soon as she calls her prayer chain warriors, well, the news will get around faster than a bucket of chicken at a Baptist homecoming.
That's quick.
Now, where can we find someone who can impersonate the pastor?
Betty?
Not now, Marie. I'm trying to think. No. Oh, I know. What about? Oh no, he's out of town.
Betty, Floyd Nikens.
Betty,
What?
Lloyd can do it.
Do what? Preach?
Yep, for what you're looking for. That's part of their act. Lloyd does this comic preacher routine, and Floyd here is his minister to education.
But I need them to be really bad ministers, not comedians.
They're pretty bad, trust me.
We're horrible.
The worst.
Look, they need to believe that this is real. And not that you're up here doing some stand-up routine. I mean, we don't want them to come back. How do I know that you will be awful enough as a Baptist minister?
We're Methodist.
They got a point there.
I'm sorry, I still just don't know if it's right to have a country and western band in the pulpit.
Oh, Betty, they're not going to be up there as a country and western band.
I'm going to be Pastor Mead.
We're not going to be singing songs about cussing and drinking and dancing. I know how y'all Baptists feel about dancing.
Oh, Lloyd, you're not helping a bit. Look here, Betty. This is the best idea we've had so far. Amy and the boys, they love this church as much as we do, and they're here with the resources to help. So look here, you just need to put whatever that is, I don't know what it is, going on behind you, and let's do this thing. So what if they sing a secular song?
Well, we are trying to run people off.
That's the spirit.
Well, I mean, we do have a couple of problems. One, how are we going to get the real Pastor Mead out of the church tonight?
Drugs,
No, that won't work.
kidnapping. No. Alien abduction.
Remember in the truck?
Dad, this is serious. Pastor Mead does not like to be out of the pulpit. It's got to be a really good reason.
You know, the last time the pastor was out was when he was on vacation.
Lula, do you have any ideas? Me neither. Maybe this is just a lost cause.
Wait, that could work. What if we got him lost?
But how could that even
No,
work?
wait, that is an idea. Visitation is very important to Pastor Mead. If he felt like he could be of service somewhere, he would go. He'd go anywhere. And I have no doubt that Mrs. Davis knows someone that needs visiting far away from here this very afternoon.
And if we have Bob Young do the driving, well, the getting lost part will just happen naturally.
That should keep him away for a while. And while I'm still not thrilled about countrifying the pulpit, I think it'll work.
Great. I'll call Bob and Miss Davis, and I'll let them know what we're up to.
Thanks, Marie. Now, Pastor Mead, can you and your family come up with a few religious numbers for the song service tonight?
Yes.
Great. I'm counting on you and Floyd.
Okay, but you guys are going to have to do your part as well.
What do you mean?
Well, that was the second thing I was going to mention. You two got to be just as bad as we are.
We have to show how wacko the staff is because of this pastor. That means every staff member has to reflect his leadership.
If there is even a glimmer of hope for Rocky Bluff, we are sunk. They might just come back thinking tonight was just an off night.
Okay, I see what you mean. Well, whatever it takes to keep the pastor here.
If the man wants to leave, he will. You might delay it with this little ruse, but if it's God's will,
How do you know that it is not God's will that he stay? And we could all be his instruments, helping him to realize that this is where he belongs.
That's good. That's good.
I can't imagine using deception to accomplish God's will.
Oh, wake up and smell the Old Testament. I mean, what about Jacob down there pretending to be Esau?
Ooh, come on
And
now.
then Joseph in Egypt.
Yes.
And besides, God helps those who help themselves.
Bam!
That's Benjamin Franklin, not the Bible.
Really?
Listen, I want what's best for this church too, but I also want what's best for Pastor Mead. Can't we do this some other way?
Dad, I don't know if this is the right thing to do either, but I do know we came here at an important time, and I just feel we should be involved somehow. Why don't we just consider this an opportunity to sing?
We shouldn't be interfering like this.
Didn't you say if it's God's will for him to leave, then nothing will keep him from going?
Not exactly, but I guess that's the idea.
Then it won't matter what we do, will it?
Well, while I'm not totally into predestination, I mean, there is the issue of free will. We all make choices that have consequences. Okay, I'm in.
Great. Now, we only have a few hours before the service tonight, so let's all meet up in my office, okay?
All right.